Lisa Renee. In loving memory of my friend David, I have been acutely aware of the escalation of coordinated targeted attacks of gang-stalking, cyberbullying, directed energy weapons, and satanic sorcery with character defamation designed to damage, injure, and kill authentic truth seekers and spiritual truth-tellers like David Wilcock. The NAA-SSP groups and their surface representatives, perpetuating organized crimes against humanity, are desperate to stay in power and survive the mass unveiling of global disclosure. The ongoing electronic harassment, directed energy weapons, Morgellon nanobiosensor sprays, AI demons, satanic ritual abuse with Wicker Man effigies streaming across the astral planes, the clone warfare with weaponization of every true word spoken or written by spiritual truth-tellers are being twisted and inverted by the soulless and clueless, using AI machinery powered up by demonic entities. These psychological spiritual warfare strategies are being used to drive the truly compassionate and heart-based people in the ascension space insane. These same archontic strategies of horrific Alice in Wonderland psychological warfare tactics has taken out many hard-working authentic starseed people in the ascension disclosure space over the last 6 years, when the spiritual warfare went on turbo for enforcing the incoming technocratic totalitarianism to thwart planetary liberation. This targeted individual agenda is designed to paralyze and end the authentic ascension disclosure movement by cutting off the heads of the genuine spiritual truth-tellers with direct Gnostic knowledge through assorted satanic ritual abuse methods that cause psychotic breaks and die-offs. I know this systematic and targeted takedown is happening to the best that humanity has to offer, kind-hearted people such as David. Hearing about the terrible news of David's death and what happened in his last moments has hit me like a ton of bricks. David was and is my friend. I know him interdimensionally. He will always have my respect and support. Although I have not been in contact with him for many years, he was and always will be my friend. An innately loving and caring person that from within his spiritual core desired to seek truth and spiritual knowledge about this reality for deeply mystical reasons. Thus, he worked extremely hard to bridge science, gather evidential facts from whistleblowers, and share ascension mechanics for the benefit of humanity. A kind person with a big heart that was truly special in what he was accomplishing on the earth. For this extremely hard work, he has been misunderstood, misinterpreted, punished, persecuted, defamed, falsely accused, and his character assassinated by the weak, immoral, and unethical mobs of dime-a-dozen fraudsters and organized cyberbullies willing to say anything online for a paycheck, selling their souls for personal clicks, fame, or gullible followers. David was connected to my Ascension Wave peer group. We were connected to the same Christos mission, but we had radically different ways of presenting Ascension material and have different positions within the authentic starseed training roles of being galactic emissaries. Although my mission progressed into the hardcore levels of reconnaissance and intelligence reporting, this trajectory of Ascension architect and archivist took me far away from the general lexicon of popular Ascension-related materials. David was meant to go much more public. I was meant for a very small niche group of Christo starseeds. However, David and I began this journey from the very same place. I met David at a small spiritual gathering at a friend's house in 2005. He was deeply emotional as an intuitive empath and could come off to others as eccentric, but I understood him perfectly. He spoke my language with no bullcrap, was truthful and kind, but he was authentic and said things even if he came off as rude. I love people that are kind but do not candy coat or manipulate others. They just tell it like it is. I was happy to know he was alive and working this mission at the same time I was. My spiritual life was under constant demonic attack and harassment, and I knew he knew what that persecution really felt like. Most people haven't got a clue what being a starseed truth-teller serving the Christos mission actually takes in terms of spiritual devotion, endurance, along with the ability to maintain your sanity when under constant spiritual attack with directed energy weapons, twisted sociopaths stalking you, and whatever else they cook up. Many immoral and demonically possessed people crawl out of the abyss and are greatly rewarded by their Antichrist overlords when they convince others that you are a lying fraudster. The Antichrist and his minions despise anyone, anything, that have genuine loving hearts and embody the personal light body attributes of the Christ consciousness. That is how it is in this reality. When I remember this earlier time, it is mind-boggling how young and naive we were. He was a very hard worker like myself, nose to the grindstone and getting through the constant dark interference and hurdles sent his way. Everyone at the gathering was full of divine inspiration, hope, and optimism, brimming with compassion and over-idealism that humanity would finally wake up through the chartered roadmap of ascension, disclosure, and spiritual truth-telling. And hoped that after the 2012 timeline window, we would have the joy to see our hard work realized by living through the spiritual liberation of the planetary ascension. During this meeting, David told me first-hand information about what was behind the Keylontic Science Group, which confirmed many things in my particular challenging mission that were proven out to be accurate later. Later on, I met David and his film producer at Chez J in Santa Monica, a small dive restaurant that was famous for its dark lighting and hidden cubby tables with wrap-around seats, great for intimate discussions in a small group. Now, he was starting to get much more public attention for his growing body of work, and there was talk of a biopic documentary on his life and the parallels he has with Edgar Cayce. Apparently, this began a major conflict with those heading the Edgar Cayce ARE Association for Research and Enlightenment Institute in Virginia Beach, who rejected David and this proposed project entirely. Despite this, Mr. Hollywood producer was throwing names around like Orlando Bloom starring as David, and in our naivete and lack of experience in this realm of smoke and mirror deception, it was clear he was very excited and I was excited for him. The hopeful feeling was that the ascension lexicon and comprehension of quantum mechanics describing planetary ascension and being explained through scientific method would help break through the global awakening into more mainstream audiences. At this time, we did not have the direct experience to know the complex schemes behind this pursuit were for the purpose of sabotage. The satanic creeps and Hollywood mafia minions were starting to be sent out to gather intel on him and start the soul-crushing coordinated interference and death threats in order to quash any of his future dreams. For those of you old enough, remember the movie that went viral called What the Bleep Do We Know? This movie was a comprehensive basic introduction to quantum physics that was made popular in the first waves of ascension-based spiritual communities with its direct correlation made to scientifically prove expanding consciousness and sentient energy. The scientific proof that consciousness is energy and energy is conscious. During this time, the New Age ascension and disclosure movement in the Santa Monica and Los Angeles region was really popular, and a wave of excitement was in the air. Many spiritual people seemed to be really thirsty for learning about basic quantum mechanics connected to ascension information, and there seemed to be huge audiences ready to carry this information forward as a planetary ascension wave. This was the beginning of a large circuit. Santa Monica, Malibu, and Marina del Rey were hopping hubs of starseed activity and galactic emissary contacts. We were in the same ascension consciousness wave that was starting to position those of us with authentic spiritual blueprints for bringing in this ascension material for the next stages of the spiritual mission. The largest spiritually minded audiences resonating to this quality of information seemed to come from this region. Ascension-related conferences and spiritual healing modalities were generally packed to room capacity and more. Years ago, there were authentic starseed people with spiritual blueprints for galactic emissary work that were rising for serving this purpose in the ascension mission, and the shysters, fraudsters, and clone warfare with intelligence operations and plants were more rarefied and did not have the traction they have today. I believe it is because most of the shysters could not grasp what we were talking about to replicate it, and the SSP military complex had not gotten its iron grip hold on controlling the ascension information online that was spreading like wildfire. Back in these days, the internet was great. Now it's a cognitive zombie wasteland of curated AI algorithms pushing swill in every direction. Today, the fact is, most children want to be an online content creator, and many cannot read or comprehend, nor understand the consequences of their actions, along with the AI slop that has flooded the zone of social media. This means that any evil moron that wants to make money and pretend to be in spiritual cosplay for entertainment purposes has filled the internet with online ascension disclosure slop. Those cosplay people are being backed by the SSP, or the satanic organized criminals, and are the ones who get pushed to the top of the AI-curated algorithms. The same things David said 25 years ago based on his personal merit and direct experiences are being curated and repeated ad nauseum to newer, younger audiences that do not know what he went through to bring in this information and that he was the forerunner. This fact also makes me really sad. One of the most caring, compassionate, and authentic people that incarnated specifically for this mission is no longer with us. We lost the real guy as the ascension material is gradually being replaced with the slop. We lost a very important person in the ascension disclosure space. The satanic overlords running the SSP agendas want to kill off the authentic ascension galactic emissaries and replace us with any childlike mind, useful idiots without merit or direct experience that are willing to take orders from their dark overlords. The many imposters pretending to be ascended masters, saving the world like Marvel heroes, or whatever they have copied from someone else. The only thing many of these imposter people care about is being a content creator, getting clicks, fame, money. They have no idea what it means to spiritually embody and live what you speak. During my spiritual nomad homeless phase, I was looking for a room to rent and happened to answer a rental ad for sharing a large house in Topanga Canyon that turned out to be where David was living at the time. He wasn't there, and his roommate showed me around the large house with fantastic windows and view of the canyon, but it was not for me. I wasn't willing to drive down that winding hill every day to get to my Santa Monica office. Looking back at this missed connection seems funnily synchronistic, maybe some intended spiritual protection that needed to be anchored in the house by a genuine friend. As I drove down this winding hill back to the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu, I was harassed by police, which was not a coincidence. Later on, when David shared publicly his brakes were messed with and he almost careened off the side of Topanga Canyon, I knew exactly what he was taking about, and that the threat against his life was real. The last time I remember connecting directly with David, it was sometime around 2011 during a phase of serious death threats after sharing some of his whistleblower testimony. We just offered him friendly prayers and kindness from ES community during these dark times. He was very appreciative and sweet in his reply. When he partnered with Corey Good for Cosmic Disclosures on Gaia, I was very happy for him. Interestingly, Corey had briefly contacted me in an email when he was still anonymous, because he had shared links of his SSP testimony and interview about reptilians, and those links were being traced as online traffic that was coming from the ES community website. The community was actively posting these SSP discussions early on. He wanted to know who I was and mentioned he knew David Wilcock and was talking to him, which was another synchronicity. I thanked Corey for his bravery and warned him about the red wave victim-victimizer mind control and dark interference divide and conquer tactics, sending him the links to the Ascension Glossary, hoping it could help to protect him from the dark sabotage onslaught and hardcore mind control designed to break you down that comes when you go public. With the first episodes of David's role on Cosmic Disclosure, I felt this was what he was supposed to do in alignment with his mission, and my inner spirit exclaimed, "Go team!" I hoped this was the sweet success he deserved, finally being recognized on his own personal merit. The respect he finally earned for working so incredibly hard synthesizing science with ascension, and that spiritual benevolence and abundance was finally getting to him in ways he was prepared and aligned for in supporting the disclosure space in a more public way. But alas, another sordid tale of betrayal, sabotage, Luciferian takeover, lost friendships and failed marriage, legal warfare, greed, and victim-victimizer mind games on steroids seem to bring all of that crashing to the ground once again. So sad, but in hindsight, quite predictable when you see the sabotage tactics clear as day. I'm not happy that the satanic holiday of 420 was the day of his passage. I know that this date stamp is directly related to the SSP's eugenic and genocidal agendas, referred to as the Hitler Program. The SSP satanic agendas are to kill high-value targets, HVT, starseeds with a mission like David's, in their weakest moments as a blood covenant, offering dedicated to the satanic figurehead that they are intending to bind the spirit into for cloning purposes or cause damage to the spiritual body on its passage from out of this dimension. In this moment, I am not fully certain this is accurate. I have some concern and will pray to ask if it's my piece to help, but this does not look good from the pattern recognition level that I've seen in several case studies of hordes of demons driving an individual to suicidal death. I have direct experience of this same version of SRA sorcery happening to starseeds or spiritual family members who were tortured to the point of insanity and committed suicide on specific satanic holidays that were designed to commemorate a revered SSP-NA leader, such as Hitler, and they were usually being possessed by some archon reptile creature based in Mars or Ceres. If you are moved by this information, please send sincere loving kindness and blessings for him. Genuine loving prayers on his behalf will make a huge difference. Since the debacle of cosmic disclosure, I lost touch with what David was working on, and I have no idea the state of his mental health when being isolated and alone, as he was in a cabin in the woods. Speculation in recent years that he was becoming unhinged or losing touch with reality is irrelevant and beside the point. His spirit, compassion, kindness, and empathic essence is the person I know, and he is always my friend. I want to send my friend off well, with love, appreciation, and gratitude for taking on a very hard mission and a magnificent job well done. If you are guided to join me in prayer and blessings, I would be honored. Thank you. GSF blessings for David. Beloved Holy Presence, in cosmic sovereign law, I am your compassionate witness. In service to David Wilcock, I pray with all of my heart to bless him and protect him in the eternal light of God, and in the blessings of the Holy Spirit and spirits of Christ, to be fully freed from the spiritual burdens and shackles that may have been placed upon him by those impostors and deceivers of God's eternal light. Through the light of God I am, through the power of love in my heart, I consecrate and bless David Wilcock to be freed into his highest expression and true nature, that he may be God's sovereign free in the eternal light of God, now and always. Mother's Aqua Portal, blessings for safe passage. Beloved Holy Presence of Mother, please open your arms for the soul and eternal spirit of David Wilcock. Rest in peace with Holy Mother's David. We call upon David Wilcock's avatar Christ self to assist in the highest transition, as God would have it be. Please open all channels of light, clearing all light fibers to be fully resonant with the eternal living light code of the Godhead, amplifying the 12th dimensional current of Christos, connecting to 12D hub, ignite the spark, activate and amplify Christos shielding, and expand, spinning the 12D liquid light of Avatar Christ outward in counterclockwise, spiral into 0 point. Calling upon our guardian families, Aurora hosts and spiritual councils, all defender warriors of truth, sovereignty, and liberation serving the One. Calling upon the crystal guardian families of light related to and in loving support of David Wilcock. We sound our group heart and unity song into the fields of omni-love, our diamond sun templates updated, sustained, and perpetuated in the eternal power of our consecration to serve our God source, the eternal living light of One. Please open together the 12th dimensional vortex of Avatar Christ into full expansion of the crystalline platinum liquid light. Spinning counterclockwise, amplify the threefold founder flames within the platinum and aurora rainbow lights. See the vortex sphere filled with platinum liquid light and aurora rainbow lights. See it fill the entire space. And now, north, south, east, west, earth, sky, heart. We direct the corners to be sealed in the eternal light of the One. Beloved God, crystal guardians, please anchor and gate keep our sacred space in service to the cosmic sovereign law of One, in unity, wholeness, and truth. Please calibrate the Mother's aquamarine spirals into transharmonic pillar alignment, core to core, align, and activate. Anchor, lock, and seal, lock down the protected avatar, Christ shield now. Beloveds, as aligned or appropriate, please apply core soul protection now on behalf of David, if so, in divine alignment. We request now the complete removal of all the Nephilim reversal programs, consciousness traps, or lower-formed spiritual energies, and their misqualified vibrations. Remove all imbalanced matrices and artificial devices and structures designed for consciousness enslavement here and now. Further, remove any and all negative entity, negative attachment, negative elemental, negative alien influence, negative karmic implant, negative alien implant, any negative karmic pain traps, any negative manipulation. Please scan and check all dimensional bodies for dark interference and remove any mind control booby traps, thought forms, negative shadows, phase disruptors, disease booby traps, holographic inserts, pathogen pullers, alien implants, or any kind of artificial structure of frequency interference or draining of life force energy through karmic superimposition and their enslavement devices or programs in any timeline of embodiment. Clear any ritual, spell, curse, or symbol. Clear any negative past life artifacts. Clear any and all psychic attack with any frequency of manipulation or negative interference. Clear related attacks of vampirism, demonic ritual, or cording, and all negative cords and their attachments. Remove undue impacts from negative mass consciousness energy or leakages that are connecting to those particular enslavement programs, past, present, and future time. We claim the sovereign right and liberation for all persons involved through any timeline or time zone, as connected to the highest expression of David Wilcock. In the light of God and in the love of Christ, we dissolve and clear any and all manipulation, enslavement, or interference with any person, place, or thing, both human and non-human, be it removed, cleared, and terminated from any further involvement with David. Clearly stated, we resign any and all involvement in any enslavement matrix on his behalf. We resolve and resign from this war game, fully and completely. We are all free from any entanglement, attachment, or disturbance, now and forever. Our authority is taken as the sovereign Christ through the power of God's sovereign law of One. We command this space as sacred in the name of God and consecrated to the service of the One Source Light. We now prepare this portal for transit out of embodiment and imprisonment for David, only if aligned and appropriate to serve his highest expression and perfect peace, as God would have it be. Beloved guardian teams, please support and provide appropriate transit through our Mother Ark portal. Now we call forth the aquamarine light. Beloved Mother, please flood our portal vortex with the divine grace of your eternal, living Holy Spirit and comforting light. We amplify now the Mother's aquamarine flame and spiraling current. We hold the portal steady. All who hear seek release, depart now. All who hear seek release, depart now. All who hear seek release, depart now. Beloveds, go forth in peace and wholeness, sustained in love forever. Beloved guardians, please oversee appropriate transit in natural law. Karayasatahala. 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 All beloveds gathered here, we thank you for your love and support. We send forth our love and friendship with David. Bon voyage, dear friend. We hold the truth of our oneness in God's light. We seal and end this procedure into the light of unity, wholeness, and truth. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. And so it is. Peace be with your heart. Peace be with your mind. Peace be with your body. May all be with the unconditional love and perfect peace held in the eternal light of God and Christ. Until next, Lisa Renee.